Picture this. You're giving everything to catch someone's eye, but with every step forward, they seem to slip even further away. Welcome back to Stoic Motive, folks. You push yourself to stand out, only to feel pulled in every direction, slowly losing who you are. It's like the harder you try, the more distant they become, leaving you feeling like a puppet controlled by someone else's whims. But what if there was a different way to draw people closer to you, one that doesn't involve chasing them or losing yourself in the process? What if the secret isn't in the pursuit at all, but in adopting a completely different mindset? Today, we'll delve into some profound Stoic insights that could completely change the way you approach your relationships. We're going to explore how you can harness this wisdom to transform your relationship dynamics and become someone who no longer dances to someone else's rhythm, but instead sets a rhythm that others can't help but be drawn to. Imagine for a moment the unwavering confidence that comes from no longer needing to prove your worth to others. Envision yourself so grounded in your own value that just your presence becomes magnetic, drawing others in effortlessly and authentically, without any pretense or compromise. Today, we're going to explore a powerful Stoic strategy that turns everything you thought you knew about relationships on its head. This isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about mastering the art of intentional detachment, where you focus your energy on your own growth and happiness. This self-focus becomes a powerful beacon, one that naturally attracts others to you. We're about to transform your approach to relationships with the magic of 10 transformative Stoic habits. These habits won't just change how others perceive you, they'll fundamentally change how you see yourself. As the wise Lyle Daskal once said, when you stop chasing the wrong things, you give the right things a chance to catch you. This isn't about settling for less or abandoning your desires for love and connection. It's about understanding your own worth and letting the right kind of love find you naturally. It's about releasing the exhausting pursuit and making space for what truly belongs in your life to come to you without force. Because if you keep chasing and trying to force someone into your life, you might get them, but the outcome could be far from what you desire. You could find yourself feeling undervalued, or worse, being manipulated like a puppet on a string. So, why not choose the path laid out by our Stoic mentors, a path that respects your worth and leads to genuine, fulfilling relationships where you're valued as an equal, not controlled like a personal puppet? So, are you ready to dive into these life-changing Stoic habits and start living a life where you command respect, attract meaningful connections, and never have to dance to anyone else's tune again? Before we dive into these transformative principles, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. By doing so, you're not just supporting the channel, you're sending a message to YouTube that more people should watch this video and get the help they need in their relationships. And remember, by helping others, you align yourself with the universe, setting the stage for it to help you in return. I've shared these insights with you, and now it's your turn to take action. So go ahead, hit that like button, and start taking charge of your life and relationships. Ready, my friend? Let's get started. Number 1, act as if you already have. Let's jump right into our first habit, acting as if you already have what you want. At first, this might seem a bit odd, maybe even counterintuitive. You might wonder, how can I behave as though I already have someone's attention or love when it's clear that I don't? But believe me, this principle is a game changer. Once you embrace it fully, you'll notice how powerfully it draws others toward you. Let's break down what it truly means to act as if you already have. This isn't about pretending or deluding yourself. It's about cultivating a mindset filled with confidence, self-assurance, and a sense of fulfillment. When you behave as if you already possess the love, attention, or respect you seek, you start embodying the traits of someone who is content, self-reliant, and naturally attractive. Consider this. People are instinctively drawn to those who appear to have their lives together, who are neither desperate nor needy. When you act as if you already have what you desire, you emanate a calm and confident aura that others find incredibly appealing. It's not about faking it. It's about genuinely developing a mindset of abundance and security. Picture yourself at a social event with someone you're interested in. Most people might try to impress, going out of their way to gain that person's attention. But imagine if, instead, you entered the room with the mindset that you already have their attention. You don't chase after them or overextend yourself to win them over. Instead, you enjoy the moment, engage with others around you, and let your natural charm do the work. This quiet confidence is much more noticeable than any grand gesture. People will see that you're different, that you're not desperately seeking validation because, in your mind, you already have it. This concept may sound simple, but it's crucial. By acting as if you already have their affection, you avoid the pitfalls of overextending yourself or appearing needy. Think about it. Nothing turns people off more than desperation. As the philosopher Epictetus wisely noted, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When your desires are minimal, especially regarding seeking someone's attention, you project a completeness that is extremely attractive to others. Let's apply this idea to different scenarios. Suppose you're trying to attract someone new. Instead of chasing them, bombarding them with messages, or trying excessively to impress, you act as though they're already drawn to you. You'll focus on being your best self, confident, engaging, and relaxed. This self-assured demeanor sets you apart, as most people are busy trying to gain favor and win others over. Now, imagine you're in a relationship where the initial spark has dimmed. Maybe you've been trying to reignite the connection, but without success. This is where acting as if you already have their love can be transformative. Rather than stressing over the lost passion, live as though the love is still vibrant and present. Be the confident and appealing person you were when the relationship began. Pursue activities that make you happy and fulfilled, independent of your partner. When they notice that you're not anxiously trying to fix things and see your confidence and contentment, it can rekindle their attraction to you. And what if you're dealing with an ex? You might feel the urge to show them how much you've changed or to prove that you deserve another chance. However, instead of overcompensating, act as though you're already thriving without them. Live your life fully, focus on your personal growth, and avoid making them the center of your universe. When they see you happy and successful on your own, it might lead them to realize what they've lost. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By thinking and behaving as if you already possess what you desire, you create a magnetic presence that naturally attracts others. How do you integrate this habit into your life? It all starts with a shift in mindset. Begin by visualizing yourself as the person who already has what you seek. How would you behave? What would you say? How would you carry yourself? Practice this mindset consistently, whether you're at work, socializing, or even at home. The key is repetition and consistency. Over time, this mindset will become second nature. You might be thinking, what if it's challenging to act as if I have something when I clearly don't? This feeling is normal, especially if you're accustomed to seeking validation from others. But this is where Stoic detachment comes into play. Detach from the outcome and focus on the process of becoming the best version of yourself, rather than on obtaining someone's affection. As you practice this, you'll begin to feel more secure in yourself, and acting as if you already have what you want will become more effortless. If you ever find yourself struggling with this habit, remember Seneca's wisdom: he who is brave is free. Courage, in this context, means having the boldness to believe in your own value, to act confidently even when the outcome is not guaranteed. It's about liberating yourself from the need for external validation and embracing the inner power that comes from within. To help reinforce this mindset, let's do a quick affirmation exercise. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Now, say to yourself, I already have what I need. Done? Great. Now, go ahead and share this affirmation in the comments. Say it loud and clear, and let the universe feel your unshakable confidence. Show the world that you're here not to chase, but to attract what is naturally meant for you. So, my friends, by acting as if you already have what you desire, you're not just pretending, you're stepping into your true power. You're living as the confident and magnetic individual you truly are, and this is exactly what will naturally draw others to you with ease. So, up to this point, if you have any thoughts, questions, or personal experiences, feel free to share them in the comments. Let's engage, learn from each other, and build a supportive community together. And if everything I've shared resonates with you, this video deserves a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And yes, hit that like button. And remember, this is only the beginning. We have 9 more transformative principles to explore, so stay with me. Today is the perfect day to start taking control, embracing your true power, and transforming your relationships like never before. Number 2, become unpredictably unavailable. Let's move on to our second habit, which is about becoming unpredictably unavailable. I know this might sound a bit strange or even counterintuitive at first. If you're really interested in someone, shouldn't you always be there for them? Shouldn't you be readily available to show how much you care? But here's the twist. Being constantly available can actually have the opposite effect. Think of it like serving a gourmet meal every single day. Eventually, it becomes something people take for granted. However, when you become unpredictably unavailable, you create a sense of mystery and intrigue that makes others crave your presence more. Let's unpack this idea. When you are always accessible, it's easy for the other person to fall into the habit of assuming you'll always be there. They might start to take your time, attention, and affection for granted. But when you mix things up a bit, when you're not always at their disposal, they start to notice your absence. As the saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. By being unpredictably unavailable, you give them the opportunity to feel the space you leave behind, making them realize just how much they miss you. Imagine this scenario. You're in a relationship where you've always been the one to initiate contact, plan dates, and make sure everything runs smoothly. Over time, this predictability becomes the norm, and your partner might start expecting it without truly appreciating the effort behind it. But what if you decide to change things up a bit? You don't respond immediately to every text. You don't initiate plans for a few days, and you let them reach out to you instead. Suddenly, they start wondering, why haven't I heard from them? What are they up to? This curiosity can change their perception of you, making them realize that your time and attention aren't guaranteed and that they should value it more. This strategy isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about striking a healthy balance where your presence is cherished and not taken for granted. Remember, people only value what they can't have. By being unpredictably unavailable, you make it clear that your attention is something special, something that needs to be earned and cherished. Let's consider some different situations. If you're trying to attract someone new, being unpredictably unavailable can really make you stand out. Most people are quick to respond to messages, eager to make plans, and always ready to please. But if you're not always immediately available, you create an air of mystery. They start to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're not constantly chasing after them. As the saying goes, mystery is the most powerful aphrodisiac. This sense of mystery can be incredibly alluring. Now, think about a long-term relationship where things have become routine. Maybe the excitement isn't what it used to be, and you're both just going through the motions. In this case, becoming unpredictably unavailable can reignite that lost spark. When you're not always around, it forces your partner to reflect on your importance in their life. They start to miss you, crave your presence, and appreciate you more when you are there. As the poet Khalil Gibran said, "Let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you." It's in these spaces that love has the chance to breathe and grow stronger. Even when dealing with an ex, this approach can be incredibly effective. After a breakup, it's natural to want to stay in touch, to show them how much you've changed, or to remind them of the good times. But being unpredictably unavailable sends a different message. It shows that you're not waiting around for them, that you're living your life fully and confidently without them. This can make them second-guess their decision to leave as they see you thriving and potentially moving on. As Oscar Wilde famously said, "The mystery of love is greater than the mystery of death." By creating that sense of mystery, you invite them to see you in a new, more intriguing light. So, how do you become unpredictably unavailable without seeming disinterested or cold? The secret lies in balance. You don't want to vanish completely or ignore the other person to the point where they think you've lost interest. Instead, be selective with your time. Sometimes respond right away, but at other times, take your time. Occasionally initiate plans, but sometimes let them take the lead. The goal is to create a sense of unpredictability, not confusion or frustration, but just enough to keep things interesting and to maintain your sense of independence. You might wonder if this is just another version of playing hard to get. It's not about playing games. It's about maintaining your self-respect and ensuring that your time and attention are appreciated. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." This means that meaningful relationships take time to build and require a balanced approach of giving and receiving. By becoming unpredictably unavailable, you're not withholding love or attention. You're simply ensuring that what you offer is valued and respected. But what if it feels challenging to become unpredictably unavailable, especially if you're used to always being there? It can be tough to step back, particularly if you fear losing the other person's interest. But remember, the goal isn't to create distance. It's to establish a healthy dynamic where both parties appreciate and value each other's time. Start small. Maybe delay your response to a text or let them initiate the next date. Over time, you'll find a balance that works for you, allowing you to maintain your independence while still building a strong connection. As we conclude this point, let's reflect on the words of Marcus Aurelius. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This is about being genuine in your interactions. By becoming unpredictably unavailable, you're not playing games. You're making sure your presence is respected and valued. So, my friends, embrace this habit and watch how it can transform your relationships, making you not just desirable, but unforgettable. Take a moment now to close your eyes and affirm, "I am the prize." Let this affirmation remind you of your unpredictability, your worth, and the power you hold in every interaction. Number 3, live by your principles, not by approval. Let's dive into our third key habit, living by your principles instead of seeking approval from others. While this may seem obvious, the reality is that when you're really invested in someone, it's easy to start bending your values just to gain their favor. You might catch yourself agreeing to things you wouldn't normally accept or compromising on what you believe in, all to win them over. But let me tell you, there's nothing more compelling than a person who stands firm in their principles. Regardless of what others might think, living by your principles sends a powerful message to the world. And to that special someone, it shows that you know who you are and what you stand for. You aren't easily influenced by the opinions of others or driven by the need to fit in. This type of self-confidence is incredibly attractive because it demonstrates that you don't require anyone's approval to feel secure in yourself. As the well-known author Roy T. Bennett wisely said, "Do what is right, not what is easy, nor what is popular." This perfectly encapsulates the spirit of living by your own principles. Picture this. You're in the early stages of dating someone new, and they suggest doing something that conflicts with your values. It might be something minor, like skipping an important family gathering, or something more significant, like compromising your beliefs. It can be tempting to go along with it just to keep them happy. But what if, instead, you stood your ground firmly yet politely? You could explain that your values are non-negotiable for you. And while you appreciate their suggestion, you simply cannot go against what you believe in. This might catch them off guard initially, but ultimately, it will earn their respect. They will see you as someone with integrity, someone who refuses to compromise on what truly matters. Living by your principles is not just about major decisions. It's also about the everyday choices we make. It's about consistency in your actions, whether people are watching or not. When you consistently act in alignment with your values, you build trust not only with others, but also with yourself. And trust is the cornerstone of any strong relationship. As the philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "He who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is mighty." When you overcome the urge for approval and remain true to yourself, you become powerful in the eyes of others. Now consider a situation where you're in a relationship that has lost some of its initial spark. Perhaps you find yourself constantly trying to please your partner, even if it means sacrificing your own happiness. This is where living by your principles can help reignite that lost connection. Instead of constantly seeking their approval, focus on doing what you believe is right for you. Start making decisions based on your values and allow your partner to see that you are strong and independent. This change can create a new, more positive dynamic in the relationship, one where you are seen as a partner with depth and integrity, not just someone who goes along with whatever is suggested. Even in the context of dealing with an ex, staying true to your principles can make a significant impact. It's tempting to try and show them that you've changed or to prove that you do anything to win them back. But instead of compromising your values, show them that you've become even more steadfast in your beliefs. Let them see that you're not chasing their approval, but living your life according to what you believe is right. This type of strength and self-respect is immensely appealing and can make them reconsider what they walked away from. So how do you remain true to your principles when it feels challenging, especially when you crave someone's approval? It all comes down to practice. Start by clearly identifying your core values. What are the things you will never compromise on? Once you're clear on that, commit to living by those values no matter what. It won't always be easy, but with practice, it will become more natural. Remember, the goal isn't to be liked by everyone, but to be respected for who you genuinely are. As we wrap up this discussion, let's reflect on the words of Steve Maraboli. Live your truth. Express your love. Share your enthusiasm. Take action towards your dreams. Walk your talk. Dance and sing to your music. Embrace your blessings. Make today worth remembering. This is all about embracing who you truly are and letting that shine in every interaction. Now, close your eyes and take a moment to affirm, I stand firm. Let this affirmation remind you of your strength, your integrity, and the power you hold when you live by your principles. Number 4, always be the last to speak. Let's explore our 4th habit, always being the last one to speak. At first glance, this might seem like a straightforward strategy, but don't underestimate its impact. This habit can be incredibly powerful in relationships. Whether you're trying to attract someone new, rekindle a past romance, or keep the flame alive in a long-term relationship, being the last to speak can provide you with a distinct advantage. When you make a conscious decision to listen fully before responding, you demonstrate a level of patience and respect that is both rare and valuable. Many people feel compelled to jump in, to fill any silence, or to get their point across first. However, when you hold back and truly listen, you create space for the other person to share their thoughts. This not only shows that you value what they have to say, but it also allows you to gain a deeper understanding of their true feelings and intentions. As Stephen Covey wisely noted, most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. By being the last to speak, you break this common habit and create an opportunity for a genuine connection. Consider this. You're on a date and the conversation touches on a subject you feel passionately about. It's tempting to jump in immediately with your views, but what if, instead, you chose to let the other person finish their thoughts completely? You show engagement by nodding and making eye contact, letting them know you're genuinely interested in their perspective. Once they've finished, you take a moment to reflect before you respond. This approach shows that you are thoughtful and considerate, not just waiting for your turn to talk. It distinguishes you as someone mature and confident. This habit becomes especially useful in emotionally charged situations. Imagine you're having a disagreement with your partner. Instead of responding right away, which might escalate the conflict, you allow them to express themselves first. You listen attentively without interruption, and by the time it's your turn to speak, you've had time to process their words and can reply in a calm, composed manner. This strategy can defuse tension and foster a more constructive dialogue. As the old saying goes, silence is golden. In this case, it's also a powerful tactic. Even when dealing with an ex who might be trying to provoke you, being the last to speak can give you the advantage. They may expect an emotional reaction from you, but when you take your time to respond, it demonstrates that you are in control of your emotions. This poise can lead them to see you in a new light, as someone who is not easily shaken and who values thoughtful communication. So, how do you adopt this habit in your daily life? It's all about practice and mindfulness. Begin by consciously allowing others to finish their thoughts in your everyday conversations before you speak. Initially, this might feel awkward, especially if you're used to being more vocal. However, over time, it will become a natural part of your communication style. The benefits are well worth it. Not only will you become a better listener, but you'll also notice that people are more attracted to you because of the respect and consideration you show them. As we conclude this point, let's reflect on the wisdom of the Buddha. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. This is about choosing your words with care and speaking with intention. Now, take a moment to close your eyes and affirm, "I listen first." Let this affirmation remind you of the strength that comes from listening and the power that lies in being the last to speak. Number 5. Stop trying to control conversations. Let's delve into our 5th habit, letting go of the need to control conversations. I understand the impulse. When you're really interested in someone, there's a strong urge to guide the conversation in a way that highlights your best qualities or ensures things go the way you'd like. However, here's the reality. Trying to control conversations can often have the opposite effect. It can come across as manipulative or insecure, and it disrupts the natural flow that makes a conversation truly engaging and meaningful. When you stop trying to control every aspect of a conversation, you allow genuine connections to form. You aren't pushing an agenda or trying to anticipate every possible response. Instead, you're fully present in the moment, allowing the conversation to develop organically. This demonstrates confidence and trust, both in yourself and in the person you're speaking with. As Stephen Covey famously said, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." By listening more and controlling less, you create a space where the other person feels truly heard and valued. Picture this scenario. You're on a date, and you're eager to make a great impression. It's tempting to steer the conversation toward familiar topics where you can shine or to focus on your best attributes. But what if, instead, you chose to be genuinely curious about the other person? You could ask open-ended questions, listen carefully to their responses, and let the dialogue flow naturally from there. This approach not only alleviates the pressure on you, but also makes the other person feel important and appreciated. They are more likely to experience a real connection with you because you're not attempting to control the interaction, you're simply enjoying the exchange. This principle applies equally to long-term relationships. If you're constantly trying to control the narrative, your partner may start to feel as though their voice isn't being heard or that their opinions aren't valued. By releasing the need to control, you foster a more balanced and healthy dynamic where both people feel respected and valued. Bruce Lee's wisdom, "Be like water, my friend," perfectly captures this idea. When you remain flexible and open in conversations, You create a flow that naturally strengthens your connection with others. So, my friends, let go of the need to control conversations and observe how your relationships begin to transform. When you release that need and simply immerse yourself in the moment, you'll discover that the connections you build are far more genuine and meaningful. Number 6. Embrace independence. Let's move on to our 6th habit, embracing independence. Now, this might sound counterintuitive when you're focused on building a connection with someone, but here's the reality. Nothing is more appealing than a person who is confident and self-reliant. When you embrace your independence, you demonstrate that you are not dependent on anyone else for your happiness or fulfillment, and that's an incredibly powerful trait. Independence doesn't mean isolating yourself from others or refusing to let anyone into your life. It's about understanding your own value and not needing constant affirmation from someone else to feel good about who you are. It's about having your own passions, your own goals, and maintaining a life outside of your relationship. As Wayne Dyer eloquently put it, you cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. When you enjoy your own company, others are naturally drawn to that confidence and sense of self-assurance. Consider this scenario. You're in a relationship, but instead of always waiting for your partner to make plans or relying on them to fill your time, you start exploring your own interests. Perhaps there's a hobby you've put on the back burner, or a new project that excites you. When you are passionate about your own pursuits, that enthusiasm becomes contagious. Your partner will begin to see you as someone who is vibrant, engaged, and fascinating, someone who brings something unique and valuable to the relationship. Even if you're trying to attract someone new, embracing independence can set you apart. People are generally attracted to those who have their own lives and aren't just waiting around for someone else to complete them. When you're busy living your best life, it naturally makes you more intriguing and desirable. Others will want to be part of your world because they see that you are already whole on your own. You don't need them to make you complete. Of course, embracing independence isn't always easy, especially if you're accustomed to leaning on others for support. Start by setting small, achievable goals for yourself. This could mean spending more time alone, picking up a new hobby, or making decisions without seeking approval from others. The more you practice, the more natural this mindset will become. As we conclude this habit, let's reflect on the wisdom of Aristotle. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Take a moment to affirm to yourself, I shine alone. Let this affirmation remind you that your strength and happiness originate from within, and that embracing your independence is crucial to building strong, healthy relationships with others. Number 7. Detach from outcomes. Let's dive into our 7th habit, learning to detach from outcomes. This might sound a bit strange at first. After all, when you're pursuing someone, isn't the goal to achieve a specific result, like gaining their love or attention? However, here's the truth. When you become overly fixated on a specific outcome, you can start to lose your sense of self. You might catch yourself overanalyzing every interaction, stressing over how they'll react, and exhausting yourself trying to control the situation. But when you let go of the need to control the outcome, you release yourself from this constant pressure, and interestingly enough, that's when you become most appealing. Picture this. You've just had an amazing date, and instead of obsessing over whether or not they will call you back, you just let things unfold naturally. You enjoyed the experience for what it was, without stressing about what comes next. This type of detachment radiates confidence. It signals to the other person that you are interested, but not desperate. As the Buddha wisely stated, attachment is the root of suffering. By releasing the need to control every outcome, you not only alleviate your stress, but also become more at ease, more present, and, as a result, more attractive. Detaching from outcomes doesn't mean you don't care. It simply means that you don't let the outcome determine your happiness. You focus on being the best version of yourself, trusting that whatever is meant to happen will naturally unfold. This change in mindset can be incredibly empowering, not just in your relationships, but in every area of your life. So take a moment now to close your eyes and affirm, "I trust the process." Let this affirmation serve as a reminder that by detaching from specific outcomes, you are embracing the natural flow of life, allowing what is meant for you to come to you effortlessly. Number 8. Practice negative visualization. Let's explore our next habit, practicing negative visualization. I understand that this might sound a bit bleak initially. Why would anyone want to focus on imagining negative outcomes? However, trust me when I say this Stoic practice is one of the most effective tools for strengthening your mind and focusing on what truly matters. Negative visualization involves picturing the worst-case scenarios, not to fixate on them, but to mentally and emotionally prepare yourself. When you imagine losing something or someone significant, you're not surrendering to hopelessness. Instead, you're cultivating a sense of gratitude and resilience. This practice helps you appreciate what you have even more and builds your strength to face potential losses. Consider this. You're deeply interested in someone, but instead of fixating on everything that could go wrong, you allow yourself to think about life without them. How would you handle it? What steps would you take? Confronting these thoughts directly reduces your fear of loss and helps you detach from the outcome. This kind of detachment is incredibly appealing because it shows you're not holding onto the relationship out of fear, but rather because you genuinely value it. As Seneca wisely pointed out, he who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. By practicing negative visualization, you prepare yourself for any eventuality, and in doing so, you find peace and confidence in the present moment. Take a moment now to close your eyes and affirm, "I am ready for anything." Let this affirmation remind you of your strength, resilience, and ability to handle whatever life may bring your way. Number 9. Smile during difficult moments. Let's talk about a habit that might seem a bit unexpected. You might wonder, how could smiling possibly help when things are going wrong? Here's the thing. Smiling in difficult moments isn't about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about keeping your composure and showing that you are resilient, no matter what challenges life throws your way. When you smile during challenging situations, you're not just trying to convince others that you're okay. You're reminding yourself of your inner strength and ability to persevere. This simple act can change your mindset from one of defeat to one of determination. As the writer and philosopher Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy." Think about this. You're in a tough situation. Maybe it's a disagreement with a partner, a stressful day at work, or facing an unexpected setback. Instead of letting the stress take over, you take a deep breath and smile. This small gesture can help ease the tension, show others that you remain unshaken, and remind you that you are in control of how you react. Smiling during difficult times isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about choosing how to respond to them. It's about showing your inner strength and resilience. So the next time you encounter a challenge, remember to smile. That smile is a testament to your unbreakable spirit. Close your eyes and affirm, "I am unshakable." Let this affirmation remind you that no matter what comes your way, you have the grace and confidence to face it. Number 10, be patient. Now, let's move on to our final habit, cultivating patience. I know patience isn't the most thrilling concept, especially when you're eager to see results in your relationships. But believe me, it's about understanding that great things take time and that rushing the process often leads to disappointment. Patience reflects confidence and self-control. When you're patient, you send a message that you're not desperate and that you don't need immediate results to feel secure. Instead, you trust the journey and believe that what is meant to be will happen in its own time. As the saying goes, good things come to those who wait. Imagine this scenario. You're interested in someone, but they're not responding as quickly as you'd hoped. The urge might be to push things along or try to speed up the process. But what if you allowed things to unfold naturally? By being patient, you give the relationship the chance to develop at its own pace, which often results in a deeper, more genuine connection. They'll appreciate that you're not putting pressure on them, and this relaxed approach can make them more attracted to you. Even in a long-term relationship, patience is essential. Not every issue needs to be solved immediately, and not every disagreement has to be resolved right away. Practicing patience gives both you and your partner the space to breathe, reflect, and come together in a more meaningful way. As we conclude this point, remember the wisdom of Lao Tzu. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Close your eyes and affirm, "I trust the timing." Let this affirmation ground you in the understanding that patience is not just a virtue, but a profound strength. And with that, folks, we've reached the end of today's video. But before you go, I want to leave you with something impactful. If you've made it this far, it shows you're committed to taking control of your life and relationships. So, show your commitment by dropping this affirmation in the comments. I will win. Declare it boldly and clearly, and let the universe know that you're ready to step into your power and make great things happen.